Because all the time it's like, oh my God, it's so boring. I cannot get through this. Like, what am I even doing? Why do people even want to read this book? This is so stupid. Like, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Leah. I am the owner of Fifth and More Store. It is an intentional stationery boutique with personal development and spiritual wellness stationery to help you create the life you desire and you deserve. I'm actually coming back to you today, and I got my notes so that I can make this short and sweet and quick, but we are going to talk about personal development and why, if you don't do it, your life will not move forward. But before we get into it, smash that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell so that you can hear videos just like this, whether you're driving, in the shower, getting dressed, because you gotta do whatever you gotta do to shift your mind, your habits, and your actions so that you can create the life that you absolutely desire. And how that's gonna happen if you do not get into personal development and feed into your spirit what you need to be able to move forward. Now, I just want to talk about the subconscious mind really quickly before I get into these personal development books that are literally going to change your life that I wholeheartedly recommend. Some of these I have read more than once and twice and more than 3 times because as you grow, you're going to pay attention to different things. So before I get there, I really want to talk about the mindset and how people really do not believe and understand that your mind is a computer. It literally captures every single thing you say, every single thing you do, every single thing you feel, every single thing that you watch, and it literally creates little blueprints from what you do. It is the reason why somebody is able to drive from point A to point B, and sometimes you're like, oh my God, I don't even know how I got here. Your subconscious mind was able to navigate you there because it typically knows what to do. Or it is how you're able to do things that are routine. It is how you leave the house and you're like, okay, when I leave the house, I need to go this way because I need to go here first. But then you end up going the way that you normally go and you're like, oh my God, I meant to do this, because your subconscious mind literally drives your actions every single day. So whatever it is that you're feeding yourself on a daily basis, it creates blueprints, and what is played in front of you on a daily basis, what you watch on TV, what you see on social media, it is literally your subconscious mind feeding into you the things that you have created a blueprint for. I always like to say, you know exactly where you are in life based on what is being presented to you every single day. So if you are going on social media and you're seeing things about relationships and broken relationships or negativity towards relationships because you're going through something with your relationship, that is the reason why. Your feeling that you're projecting out into the universe is projecting back to you. So that's how you can look at a post and relate to it. Why? It's projecting back to you the energy that you're projecting out. So we have to be careful what we are actually watching, what we are listening to, the words that we're saying. I've stopped listening to so much on the radio because I realize that I'm sitting here singing, these broken heart love songs, and really what I'm doing is I'm affirming those things into my life. We really have to be careful with what we are watching, what we are saying, what we are doing, and what we are putting into our spirit. So that is the reason why I typically will listen to audiobooks, or if I listen to music, I'm going to listen to something positive, something that aligns with what I want. If I'm watching TV, I'm going to watch feel-good TV, things like that, because I want to be able to project back the things that I am putting out. Now, that said, is if you're not feeding yourself new things that is going to open up your awareness, that is going to shift your perspective, that is going to boost your confidence, that is going to allow you to take risk, then it is going to be very difficult to be able to grow. It is the same way as like if you were to decide, hey, I want to go plant a garden, and you go outside, you plant the seed, but you never water the grass, you never give it any type of nutrition or anything like that. What is going to take place is whatever, right? You're allowing whatever to take place in that garden. And so you go out there, you can't be mad about the harvest that you didn't choose to nurture. So your mind is the same. It is a garden. And every single day you get up to choose to either nurture your mind or let whatever happen to your mind. In order to be able to shape your mind differently, you have to be able to plant, you have to be able to water, you have to be able to nurture your mind so that it can align with the things that you want. How we grow up shapes your perspectives very deeply, by the way. The people that you hang around shape your perspective very deeply, by the way, right? And so when we're choosing to hang around certain people, maybe because they're family or they've been friends for a long time, and they don't necessarily align with where we want to go, then we can't go either. So it's like we have to make a choice. When you're choosing to adopt perspectives that were given to you instead of new ones, then it's going to be very difficult. You know, we see the lights, the camera, the action, the lifestyles and everything on social media. And you're like, wow, I want that lifestyle. Wow, I wish I could make 6 figures. Wow, I wish I could be a millionaire. Wow. And the thing is, you can't have these things unless you be able to fix your mindset to align with those things. So how do we do that? We have to be able to shape our minds, mold our minds with personal development that is going to move our minds forward. I'm going to talk about some of the books that have really impacted the way that I am. And I want to give a disclaimer. If you read a book and it doesn't speak to you, it doesn't move you, or you think it's boring, I have learned from experience it's because you're not ready for that yet. There was a book, it's not on this list because I want to give you all something easier, but a lot of people say Think and Grow Rich. I remember that I had attempted to listen to Think and Grow Rich 3 times before I actually accepted the book Think and Grow Rich. Why? Because all the time it was like, oh my God, it's so boring. I cannot get through this. Like, what am I even doing? Why do people even want to read this book? This is so stupid. Like, I had so much negativity about that particular book. And what I realized later is that I wasn't ready for it when I was trying to do it. I had not even prepared myself or my mind. So my mind couldn't even accept a lot of the principles in the book because I had not personally grown enough to accept the concepts presented. It wasn't until like 3, maybe even 4 years after the first time that I attempted listening to it that I began to listen to it. I was taking notes. I was really excited. Like, I couldn't wait to get in my bed at night because I like to listen to a lot of the stuff at night, but I couldn't wait to get to bed at night so that I could listen to my book. And then it became like, oh, I got to listen to it again. Why would I listen to a book again? The same way you would watch a movie more than once, or the same way you would listen to a song more than once. And you already know that you have watched a movie before. You're just like, gosh, I've seen this movie 10 times. I've never seen that part. I heard this song 10 times. I never knew that they were saying that. Why? Because at the time, your mind wasn't there. That wasn't the part that you needed to focus on at the moment. You needed to take in all the other parts. So you watch it again, you see a new part, and you get a new revelation from it. Same way with a book. You read it through the first time. It's like, okay, I'm picking up the parts. You're going to pick up the part that you need. And then when you listen to it again, you're going to like accept the other parts that you weren't able to hear before. So that would be the reason why you would read it again. Once I was able to accept it, I began to listen to it multiple times. And each time I was able to pick out something else that would help change my life. Some of the other books that helped change my life is The 4 Agreements. I love this book because a lot of times we can't move forward in life because we have so many personal things going on inside of us. Things that we thought that we released, but we didn't. People that we needed to forgive, but we didn't. And honestly, your life is not going to move forward until you deal with that. So 4 Agreements, especially if you're dealing with any kind of hurt, if you think that you forgave somebody or you didn't, if you do not understand the way you respond, if you're still letting things trigger you, 4 Agreements you need to read. My next book that I used to love to listen to as I was getting dressed every single day was called The 10X Rule, and that is by Grant Cardone. Now, the reason why I enjoyed the 10X Rule because I began to understand that a lot of times when you're not reaching the goals that you want to reach, it's because you're not working as hard as you think you need to work. A lot of times people underestimate the amount of work that is needed to do something, and they actually overestimate what they think they did. And the reality of it is, you really are just not taking enough of the right action on a continual, or should I say on a consistent basis, in order to get the results that you want. So if you are a person and you have a goal and you're like, hey, I want to reach that, and I have been working, I have been doing a lot, but I'm not there yet, you absolutely need to indulge in the 10X rule, because you're mostly underestimating what it takes to get to where you want to go, and you're underestimating your actual output to get there. The third book that I really, really love is The Big Leap. I have listened to this book over and over and over again. I probably might go and listen to it again really soon. But The Big Leap talks about us having a set point that, based on how you grew up and all the perspectives that you have, like basically in your mind, your subconscious mind has a set limit. And when it reaches that set limit, you can't go further. If you have a thermostat and you're like, okay, I want my house to be at 74 degrees, you go and set the thermostat at 74. So if the temperature falls down to 72, the heat is going to kick on and it's going to go back up to 74. But it's typically not going to go over the 74. It'll fall down and it'll go back up, and it'll fall down and go back up. And we kind of do that in our actions. Like, we go up in life and then we go back, something knocks us down, and then we could get back up, and it knocks us down and we get back up, but we're never really going further than that highest point that we've ever been. And so it gives you the strategies that you need to take in your mind and in your actions to be able to bust through that set limit, so that you can actually get past where your set point is. And that is a set point financially, a set point in love, a set point in mood. There, we have set points. And when we reach it, we kind of do this self-sabotage thing. So that resonates with you and you're like, man, I feel like I do that self-sabotage thing all the time. Unknowingly, you definitely want to read The Big Leap. My fourth book that I love is The Abundance Project, another book that I have read over and over again. So The Abundance Project, when I read it, I thought that it was going to be teaching me how to, make money and do all of this stuff. And what I got is learning more about how to create abundance from your heart, about how to look at situations differently. For example, in relationships, anytime that you have a relationship and maybe the relationship is going bad, maybe one person, maybe someone else is doing something to you or making you feel a certain type of way. And so we tend to fall in this thing of where I'm going to either give the same energy or I'm not going to do anything. And the Abundance Project teaches that in order to get to a level of abundance, you're going to have to do more. If somebody is making you mad, or if your relationship is starting to fail, this is not the time for you to retreat into your private space and not do anything, not say anything, return this negative energy. This is where you upload your abundance to give more to the other person, so that you can get back more. They even talk about like the different abundance blocks that we have, where we might have blinders on, things like that. It literally opened up my eyes in a way that I had not expected. So I definitely recommend going to the Abundance Project so that you can learn how to give more from within, regardless of the circumstances that you see around you. A book that I am reading right now, that I absolutely love. Like, I can't finish the book because I keep going back to listen to other parts because it is really that good. And this is called Think Yourself Rich by Norval. And I hope that I said this correctly, but this one really is more of your practical guide to being able to create wealth through your purpose and your gifts. being able to, again, that whole sit quietly, listen to what is coming up for you, being able to ask yourself questions, being able to allow your subconscious mind to speak, and then you listen, and then you take action. And if something doesn't work, you take a different action, and you keep taking action until you find that one action that is going to be able to create the wealth that you desire and you deserve. So these are my top 5. I have more that I could share with you, but like I said, these are really good to start with. I feel like these are easy reads for any beginner, somebody who doesn't do personal development. One thing that I suggest that you do is don't overwhelm yourself. If you have not done personal development, personally, I say that it should be done every single day, but I am also a practical person to know that if in order for you to be able to build a habit, you have to be able to do something that you can do and do that well before you add on. So I always say, like, if you are not reading at all, listen to an audiobook or read, but maybe say, okay, at least once a week, I'm going to make every Sunday the day that I read for 10 to 15 minutes. And then once you have that down for several Sundays, then now you can say, okay, I'm going to do Sunday and Monday, right? And now once you've done Sunday and Monday and it's a habit, now you can add on Tuesday and build yourself up so that you do not experience a burnout and make your subconscious mind have you go back to the comfort of just not doing it at all. So start small and work your way up to be able to read daily, at least 10 to 15 minutes. A lot of times I read. If I can't read, I'm listening. So I can listen to a book while I'm in the shower. I can listen to a book while I'm doing my hair. I can listen to a book while I'm traveling or driving in the car. I can listen to a book even before I go to bed at night. So you can listen to books and then you can go back if you want to see them physically, read them, highlight things, and take notes. You can do that when you have time. But again, these are my top 5. They will change your life forever. Hopefully this is something that you want to get into, because I do not believe that you can pray, journal, and affirm your way out of anything unless, of course, you're putting something new in you to be able to shift the perspectives that you have. So I hope this was helpful to you. Leave me a comment below. Don't forget to like and smash that subscribe button. Turn on your notification bell and definitely share this video, because there's enough room at the top for every single body. So help somebody else get to the top with you and with me. And with that, I'm out. Have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video.